My name is Sophie Lancaster, and I married a dead man. I know how that sounds crazy, impossible, but I swear it's true. It started 18 months ago when I met Daniel Ashford at a charity gala in Manhattan. I was 26, working as a marketing consultant. He was tall and handsome in an expensive tuxedo, with dark hair and intense blue eyes. "You look bored," he said, walking over with champagne. "I'm Daniel Ashford, Sophie Lancaster." We talked all evening. Daniel said he worked in finance, investing in tech companies. By the end of the night, he'd asked for my number. By the end of the month, I was falling in love. Dating Daniel was like living in a dream. He took me to the best restaurants, surprised me with trips to Paris and Barcelona. He was perfect, too perfect, my best friend Melissa warned. "You've only known him 3 months, and he's talking about moving in," Melissa said. "Have you met his family, visited his apartment?" I realized I hadn't. Daniel always came to my place. His apartment was being renovated. His family lived overseas. His friends were busy. "That's kind of weird, Sophie," Melissa said. But I convinced myself she was just overprotective. Daniel's explanations always made sense. 6 months after we met, Daniel proposed on the Brooklyn Bridge at sunset. "Sophie Lancaster, you're the love of my life. Marry me." "Yes," I cried. 1,000 times yes. We planned a small wedding for 2 months later. Daniel said his parents couldn't travel from England, they weren't well. It was disappointing, but understandable. The wedding was beautiful. We married at a chapel in upstate New York, surrounded by autumn leaves. I wore a simple white dress. Daniel wore a perfectly tailored suit. I was the happiest woman in the world. I had no idea my husband had been dead for 3 years. The weirdness started on our honeymoon in the Maldives. "Let me get a picture," I said, holding up my phone. "No photos," Danielle said quickly, pushing my phone down. "Why not? This is our honeymoon. I hate having my picture taken. It's a thing with me." I thought it was odd, but let it go. Then I realized something stranger. I had no photos of Daniel at all. Every time I tried, he'd stop me, or the photo would be blurry. "That's really weird," Melissa said when I mentioned it. "What's he hiding?" After the honeymoon, Daniel was never around. He travelled constantly for work, gone for days, sometimes weeks. "What exactly do you do?" I asked. "I invest in startups. It's confidential. I sign NDAs. I tried to Google him. Nothing. No social media, no LinkedIn, no business registrations. It was like Daniel Ashford didn't exist online at all. Then one afternoon, Daniel's phone rang. He'd left it at home. "Caller ID, Mom," I answered. "Hello? Who is this?" an older woman's voice asked. "Sophie, I'm Daniel's wife," the woman gasped. "That's impossible. Daniel is dead. He died 3 years ago." "What? Who is this?" I said, my heart racing. "I'm Margaret Ashford, Daniel's mother. My son died in a car accident in 2020. We buried him." There must be some mistake. Born the 15th of April 1990? Dark hair, blue eyes, worked in finance. Those were Daniel's exact details. My hands shook. "I'm calling the police," Margaret said. "Someone is pretending to be my dead son." After she hung up, I searched online. Daniel Ashford died 2020. Multiple obituaries appeared. Photos of a man who looked exactly like my husband. Daniel James Ashford, aged 30, died September 2020 inches a car accident. It was him. Definitely him. But how? I'd been living with him for months. I'd married him. You can't marry a ghost. The police arrived 3 hours later. Detectives Morrison and Hayes. "Mrs. Ashford, we need to ask about Daniel Ashford." "I don't understand what's happening," I said. "His mother says he's dead, but I'm married to him. Can you show us his belongings?" I took them to our bedroom. I opened Daniel's closet and found nothing. Empty. No suits, no shoes, no clothes. "That's impossible," I panicked. "His clothes were here this morning." The drawers empty, the bathroom, no toiletries, his office, nothing. Every trace of Daniel had vanished. "Mrs. Lancaster, have you been experiencing psychological stress recently?" Detective Morrison asked gently. "You think I imagined my husband. We're trying to understand." "I have a marriage certificate," I showed them. See, this is real. Detective Hayes examined it. This is legitimate. Filed with the state. Then who did I marry? I asked. Over the next days, the police investigated. They interviewed everyone at my wedding. The results were terrifying. I never saw the groom, said Robert Chen, the justice of the peace. The bride was alone. She said vows to empty space. I thought it was performance art. She paid me $500 not to ask questions. There was no groom, confirmed the witness. Just the bride, standing alone, talking to no one. That's not true, I insisted. Daniel was there. But no one had seen Daniel. No one except me. The hotel in the Maldives said I'd been alone the entire honeymoon. The woman checked in alone, the manager said. She had dinner alone, walked on the beach alone. We felt bad for her. I was losing my mind. Detective Morrison suggested a psychiatrist. I saw Dr. Lisa Park. Tell me about Daniel, Dr. Park said. I told her everything. Did anyone else ever meet Daniel? I realized they hadn't. He always cancelled plans at the last minute. Sophie, I think you experienced a psychotic episode, Dr. Park said gently. Stress, loneliness, these can cause the brain to create elaborate fantasies. But the marriage license is real. Yes, which suggests you went through a wedding ceremony alone, possibly unaware. It's called a dissociative state. She prescribed medication and therapy. I took the pills, but I still believed Daniel was real. 1 week later, Daniel came home. I was in the kitchen when the door opened. There he was, handsome, smiling, real. Sophie, I've been so worried. I stared, unable to speak. Everyone says you don't exist, that I married a ghost. Daniel's expression changed. He looked sad, resigned. I was hoping you'd never find out, he said quietly. Sophie, I need to tell you the truth. I did die 3 years ago. The obituary, it's all true. That's impossible. I'm a ghost, Sophie, a spirit. I died, but I didn't move on. I stayed in the world. Ghosts aren't real. Then how do you explain me? How do you explain that no one else can see me? That I don't show up in photos? This is insane, I whispered. I've been wandering for 3 years, invisible to everyone, Daniel said. Then I saw you at that gala, and somehow, for some reason, you could see me. You were the first person who could interact with me since I died. This can't be happening. I fell in love with you. Real love. Even though I'm not alive. I wanted to marry you. So I found someone who could perform a ceremony, someone who could make you legally married to a ghost. Why can only I see you? Some people have the gift, the ability to see beyond the physical world. You're one of them. I thought back over our relationship. The officiant. The witnesses, they saw me alone because they couldn't see you. Yes, I'm sorry. I should have told you the truth. But I was lonely, and I wanted to be with you. You lied to me, I said, tears streaming. You let me think I was losing my mind. I know. I'm sorry. Sorry isn't enough. You need to leave. Go wherever ghosts go. Let me have a real life with a real person. Daniel's expression crumbled. Sophie, please, leave, get out. If I leave, you'll never see me again. If you send me away, I'll move on to whatever comes next. Good. That's what you should have done 3 years ago. Daniel stood slowly, looking at me with such sadness. I love you, Sophie. Just go. He walked to the door, opened it, and stepped through. Then he vanished. I was alone. For weeks after Daniel left, I felt like I was drowning. I'd sent away the only man I'd ever truly loved, even if he was a ghost. Melissa stayed with me. You did the right thing. You can't have a relationship with a ghost. Why not? He loved me. I loved him. Because ghosts can't be real partners. They can't grow old with you or give you children. Dr. Park continued my therapy. You're not psychotic. You have a genuine ability to perceive spirits. It's rare, but real. Will I always see ghosts? Probably. But you can learn to control it. I felt lost. I had this strange gift I'd never asked for. My life had become something from a horror movie. 2 months after Daniel left, I was cleaning when I found a locked box hidden in the closet. I pried it open and found documents, legal papers, bank statements, and a letter addressed to me. The letter was from Daniel. Sophie, if you're reading this, I'm gone. But I need you to know the truth. I didn't die in a simple car accident. I was murdered. 3 years ago, I discovered my business partner, Marcus Webb, was embezzling millions. When I confronted him, he killed me. He staged it to look like an accident. I stayed as a ghost wanting justice, but then I met you and got distracted. The documents in this box are evidence of Marcus's crimes. You can bring him to justice. I love you, Sophie. Always. Daniel. My hands shook. Daniel had been murdered, and his killer was free. I looked through the documents. Bank statements showing millions being transferred to offshore accounts. Emails discussing taking care of the Daniel problem. A recorded confession. This was real evidence. Evidence that could put a murderer in prison. I sat for 3 days, trying to decide what to do. Part of me wanted to forget about Daniel and move on. But another part wanted justice. For Daniel. For his parents who thought their son died in an accident. I called Detective Morrison. Detective, I have evidence that Daniel Ashford was murdered. Detective Morrison was skeptical, but the documents were compelling. She agreed to investigate. Over 2 months, police built a case against Marcus Webb. They analysed financial records, verified emails, enhanced the confession recording. The evidence was overwhelming. Marcus had embezzled $14 million. When Daniel discovered it, Marcus hired someone to tamper with Daniel's brakes, causing the accident. Marcus was arrested at his office. When the news broke, it was a media sensation. Daniel's parents called me, crying. "Thank you," Margaret Ashford said. "Thank you for giving us justice. Will you come visit us?" I agreed. The Ashfords welcomed me warmly to their Connecticut home. "Tell us about Daniel," Margaret said. I told them an edited version how we met, fell in love, how happy we were. I left out the ghost part. "He talked about you," I lied gently. "He said you were wonderful parents." Margaret showed me photo albums. Pictures of Daniel as a child, teenager, young man. The same face I'd loved, captured in moments I'd never seen. "Would you like to visit his grave?" Thomas asked. I nodded. Daniel's grave overlooked a peaceful lake. His headstone read, Daniel James Ashford, the 15th of April 1990, the 3rd of September 2020, beloved son, gone too soon. I stood there, hand on the cold stone. "I'm sorry," I whispered. "I'm sorry I sent you away." The wind picked up. For just a moment, I felt Daniel's presence, warmth, comfort. Then it was gone. "He's at peace now," Margaret said beside me. "Knowing Marcus was caught, he can finally rest." "I hope so," I said. Marcus Webb's trial began 6 months later. I attended every day. His lawyers tried every defense, but the evidence was too strong. The jury deliberated 3 days. The verdict was unanimous. Guilty of first-degree murder. Guilty of fraud. Guilty of embezzlement. Marcus was sentenced to life in prison without parole. As the judge read the sentence, I felt a weight lift. Justice for Daniel. Finally, after the trial, I tried to return to normal life. I went back to work, saw friends, even started dating. Melissa tried to set me up. "Sophie, you can't spend your whole life mourning a ghost." "I'm not mourning, I'm processing." Every man I met felt wrong, felt not Daniel. Then one evening, everything changed. I was home alone when I felt that familiar warmth. I looked up, and Daniel was there. "Daniel? Hi, Sophie. How are you here?" I asked. "I thought you moved on." "I did move on," Daniel said. "But I was given a choice. I could stay at peace, or come back one last time to say goodbye properly." "Why did you come back?" "To thank you. For believing me. For getting justice. For loving me even though I was dead. I miss you so much." "I miss you too. But Sophie, you need to let me go. Live your life a real life with a real man. No one will ever be you. Good. But someone will be right for you in a different way. Someone alive." Daniel stepped closer. "Our marriage wasn't just a trick. It was real. You were my wife. I was your husband. Then why leave?" "Because I'm dead and you're alive. And those worlds can't coexist forever. But I'll always love you." "I love you too." Daniel kissed me warm, solid, perfect. Then he pulled away. "Goodbye, Sophie. live a beautiful life for both of us. He began to fade, becoming transparent, then just light. Goodbye, Daniel. The light flashed bright, then was gone. I knew he wasn't coming back. 2 years later, I stood in the same chapel where I'd married Daniel. But this time, I was marrying James Chen, a kind man I'd met through work. He knew about Daniel. I'd told him everything. He believed me. Everyone has a past, James said. Yours is just more unusual, but it made you who you are, and I love who you are. As I stood at the altar, I felt a familiar warmth. I looked to the back of the chapel and saw Daniel standing there, smiling, giving me a thumbs up. Then he was gone. But I knew he'd given me his blessing. James and I built a beautiful life together. We had a daughter named Anna. I discovered my ability to see ghosts wasn't a curse, it was a gift. I started helping lost spirits find peace. I worked with Detective Morrison on cold cases, using information from ghosts to solve crimes. I opened a practice as a licensed medium. I found purpose in the supernatural. 5 years after Daniel left, I was in my office when a familiar figure appeared. Marcus Webb's ghost stood before me, looking tortured. Please, he begged. I know you hate me, but I'm stuck. I can't move on. I've been in agony for years. Please help me. Every instinct told me to refuse, but I remembered what Daniel would want. Sit down, Marcus. Tell me everything. Confess it all, and maybe I can help you find peace. Marcus talked for hours, confessing everything Daniel's murder, years of fraud and greed. He cried, I'm sorry. I know it doesn't fix anything, but I'm so sorry. I took a deep breath. I forgive you, Marcus. What? I forgive you. Not because you deserve it, but because holding on to anger hurts me more than you. Daniel taught me that. Marcus began to glow with golden light. The guilt is lifting. Go, move on, find peace. Marcus finished. I sat alone, feeling lighter than I had in years. The last chain to the past was broken. I was finally completely free. That evening, I went home to James and Anna. She was 2 years old, with my eyes and James's smile. Anna pointed to the corner. Nice man, she said, smiling. He's smiling at you, Mama. I looked but saw nothing. Maybe Anna had my gift, or maybe an imaginary friend. Either way, I smiled at the empty corner, just in case. Thank you, I whispered. For everything. The air felt warm briefly, then it was gone. I had loved a ghost and survived. I had found purpose in the supernatural. I'd learned that love transcends death, that forgiveness heals. My name is Sophie Lancaster Chen. I'm 35. I'm a wife, a mother, a medium, and a survivor. I married a ghost, lost him, found myself, and learned that love never truly dies. It just transforms into something new.